We about to dress the culture. Yeah, we about to dress the culture, We about
Brick by brick, you get your boy Big Wall, and this is Address the Culture. And today we back with another exciting show. We got a special guest in the building. Now, when we talk about a queen, when we talk about morals, principles, honor, you know what I'm saying? Allowing only what comes out of their mouth to be what they stand for, not allowing the industry to mold and to dictate how you present yourself and what type of music you create. This is who I'm talking about today. We got the one. We got the only. We got Laady Kharizma in the building. Welcome to Address the Culture.
What's poppin', baby? What's poppin'?
You already know, 2 feet in a heartbeat, man. It's dope to have you come through the culture, man, because like your story is one of them stories that, in the game where right now the females are doing their thing, but it's dope to have options. And you're one of them MCs that bring options to the game when you allow, future MCs who's coming along to say, you don't have to do A, B, you could do C and D and still be respected and still do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So your story is dope for the culture. It's motivational. We know it ain't no flowers in this game. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope to have you come through and get you some flowers. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it, baby. I appreciate the love. Same way back over here, the energy is definitely reciprocated.
I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, the first thing I want to know is, how did you get your name?
Laady Kharizma. So I used to go by, back in the day, Lady Caramel, which my mom gave me. It's just something that stuck. And when I started freestyling in the little underground scene, I always had this type of poise about myself. And I often heard, like, you're so charismatic. You're so charismatic. Like, you have so much charismatic about you. And one day, my little brother, who's an artist himself, he goes by Agape, he said, Ree, I'm going to try charisma. And I said, okay. And then so I dropped the caramel and I put the charisma in it. And Laady Kharizma kind of stuck. And I always love to emphasize, because you spell lady in my name with a double A. And I love to emphasize the fact that I'm a lady all day before anything else, and there is so many dope female MCs in the game right now running and hitting at the top of the charts, and no shade whatsoever. Nonetheless, I do think sometimes, they get off track with the fact that they are major mentors and just the image, to sum it up, that we want with our young people coming up in the industry and just coming up in the world, period. They are the future. That next generation is our doctors, our lawyers, our teachers, our judges, our ministers, anything that you can have in a line of authority and in a line of a role model figure. They're coming up right now up under us. And so I do think that more than anything, more than the lyrics you drop, your cars, your hot outfits, that your message have to be 100% clear on what it really is that makes it. Because a lot of what is presented to you as an artist coming up is, you got to have the hottest lyrics, you got to have the hottest clothes on, jewelry, car, and all that plays a role to a certain extent. But I feel like the message that you deliver is everything as an artist. That's the definition of you as an artist, is the message that you're willing to put out there, and people make you stand on that message, whatever it is. If you're talking about robbing, killing, and shooting, they're gonna make you stand on that. So nevertheless, if you're talking about holding your own, grinding through, representing something of class, they're gonna make you stand on that too. So I use it as a double sword, baby. It holds me accountable, as well as being able to have the accountability there, nonetheless.
That's dope that you taking it upon yourself to put that type of weight on your shoulders. You know what I mean? Because a lot of artists out here, they just doing whatever they think is gonna get them to where they need to get to, and they're not doing it with no moral lens, through no moral eyes. You know what I mean? And the fact that you're willing to put that on your shoulder to give people options and let them know that hey, like, we can really be ourselves. We don't have to be in this box. you know what I'm
That's right.
saying, to sell records because I'm a female. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Shouts
right.
out to you. That's dope.
I appreciate you, baby. You
Yeah,
trying out here, you
man. Yeah, talk your shit.
know.
So with all that being said, who is Lady Kharizma?
Lady Kharizma, she a queen, one and the same, baby.
Yeah,
Born and raised San Diego, California. Church is my roots. I
yeah.
grew up in church. My grandfather, who is laid to rest at this point, was the pastor and the biggest role model of my life coming in,
Wow.
to the world. And one can imagine being a pastor's grandchild, we're held to some pretty heavy standards.
The high standards that you had to live up to being a PK. You was pretty much a PK. You know what I mean?
Pretty much, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's the skin that I live in now that
yeah,
my upbringing helped create, and
yeah,
there is no wavering on that. And I've been put in some positions growing up that had to make me define who I was going to be as not only an artist in this game, but a woman in life, period. And
yeah,
I definitely were backed into some corners where I had to stand on practice what you preach, and I had to
yeah.
stand on what I put out there to the point where it was the inevitable. Like, it made it irreversible. There's no going back from here. I said, this is what I want in life. Music being my background because of church, you grow up, you hear the gospel. My aunties and uncles had the Wilson singers, and I used to see them tirelessly practice.
Yeah.
My two uncles, they'd be in there just going back and forth. They used to do this little beatbox thing, and my uncle would start going in, and then the next one would pick up the next bar, and they would just feed off
Yeah,
each other's
yeah,
energy, and I'd be there
yeah.
like, oh, just eating it
I can
all
get
up.
with this.
Yeah, eating it up, baby.
Yeah.
And then if it wasn't that, there was choir rehearsal where we was there on Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, Saturday nights. And so
Yeah.
music was just enriched into my soul where, like I said, it became the inevitable. Like I couldn't escape it.
I get it.
And
I get it.
with that being said, I took that part of my training and I went into the world and I tried to make my own calculations in life. And they didn't always turn out even, which made for some real good lyrics.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
absolutely.
I'll
Reality
tell you
rap.
that. Pretty much. And the more I kept learning in life, the more it helped me structure myself as an artist and what I
Yeah.
wanted to be. And so when you ask who is Lady Kharizma, Lady Kharizma is everything that stands for something of class, something that is to leave a message that you won't just hear today, but you can live off of 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. I told a friend of mine, we were conversing back and forth about music, and I say, you never hear an Al Green song and you just sit there.
Never. Never. Yeah.
You get to move and it's gonna hit your heart, your soul. I don't care who you put. When that track go on, if they sitting in front of you, they gonna feel it from one way to another. And there's a reason why. It's because those words, those lyrics, they resonate in your heart because they have meaning. They do.
That's a fact.
When you hear that "Let's Stay Together," you can relate to that.
That's
Anybody
a fact.
who ever, if you've been in love or lust, you can still relate to "Let's Stay Together."
That's a fact. And you know word for word.
Man, baby.
Every lyric you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it resonates with you. That's a fact.
I'm just saying. So I want my music to have the same impact. I want you to be able to listen to it 30 years from now and be like, you know what? She was absolutely correct, baby. I was going through my joint Bridge the Gap, and it's a classic. I love it. But they were so far ahead of the game, and they was lacing us with knowledge there, baby. And I was just like, I was eating it up as I was driving through the road, and I was like, man, this is it. This is everything. Like, I need my music to have that feeling 2, 3, 5 decades from now. I need it to have that, penetration within somebody's heart, they soul, they character. The same way when you hear, what's the song popping all over the charts right now? Up. And I have to salute Nicki. Not Nicki, Cardi. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cardi. I have to salute her because she's doing her thing.
That's a fact.
Baby at the
Yeah.
top. You know,
Yeah.
when you hear that, it make you want to groove, you know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want my music to do the same, but I want it to make you want to get up and get your shit together. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like she make you want to go twerk something hard. I want you to get up and get your shit together when you hear the message that I lay. I want you to want better for
Yeah.
yourself. I want you to set the
Yeah.
bar even higher after you hear my track. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I
Motivational
definitely,
music.
yes, baby, yes,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
yes,
They
sir.
say that music is the soundtrack to our lives, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
It really
absolutely,
is, man. You make that type of right music. It's nostalgic. When you hear that song, it takes you right back to the first time you heard it. If your mama was
absolutely.
frying bacon on the stove, you smell a bacon. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Hey,
music really do that for you. So I'm with you. You know what I'm saying?
yes, baby.
Yeah, yeah. That's dope. How did you get your first start into music?
Whew. It was okay. Well, like I said, I grew up in church, so they would always throw us up there for, it's our time for the youth to sing, the children to
Yeah,
sing,
yeah.
family to sing. So that was me breaking the ice, I guess, with just performing or getting up in front of
Okay,
a live audience. My
okay.
first live show was at a middle school talent show. And
Mm.
my brother and I got up there and we was it Mary J. Blige, No More Drama, the instrumental. And
Okay.
I milked the whole thing from start to finish. And it wasn't
Mm.
as planned. It wasn't. I was supposed to come in with my 16 and my brother was supposed to take it. And he gonna kill me if you ever see this interview. Right? When he got up there, baby boy was not ready, and I didn't know how to keep the whole track, you know. And that it was it. That is sparked the fire that I just couldn't resist after that. The school went wild and I felt the energy. I thought I was like, this is me, this is my lane. I'm here to win, baby. And ever
A
since then,
star
it's
is
been on.
born.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's dope. Hey, the
I'm
show
just
must go
saying.
on. Wait, what you say?
Absolutely.
You looked at little bro eyes and like, no, we can't go out like this.
No, baby. Turn me up.
I
Get
got,
hot. Turn me up
we
then.
gotta go in, baby. You know what I'm
Yeah, get the
saying?
crowd right, baby. Turn them up. Man,
I
man,
feel
man.
you. I feel
I'm
you.
just
You know what I'm
saying.
saying? That's a fact.
Yes, sir.
Um, how would you describe the music that you create?
Well, you hit it on the head when you said motivational, inspirational, insightful, awakening. It's definitely got a bit of an emotional roller coaster going through it. If you really hear my lyrics, my mixtape is soon to drop coming into the summer. Reality
Dope.
check for Lady Charisma, and that
Okay.
just it goes in and out with basically what it is, my reality
Yeah.
check in life, and everything that came with that check. So
Yeah.
that I would definitely describe it as insightful. Uh, it'll peel your head open if you really give it some time.
Yeah. 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 What they say, food for thought, huh?
Pretty much, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. I can dig it.
Pretty much.
Who inspires you to make the music that you make?
Missy Elliott.
Mm. Missy Misdemeanor,
I love me
huh?
some Missy. Oh man, I remember being a little youngster and she used to always have the kids in the video, and I was like, that's gonna be
Yeah.
me, this
Yeah.
little homeless and shit. And man, I could just see the vision. But
Yeah.
it was her creative mindset. It always has been. Missy
Yeah.
always has been one of those MCs in the industry who constantly defines breaking outside the box,
Mm-hmm.
constantly defines not staying within the lines, period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whenever you give her boundaries, she go above and beyond,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I love the fact that she's never been complacent in the industry whatsoever. She's
Yeah.
authentic 100%. You can feel her anytime she drop. You can't put on one track, a Missy, and not go to hell off too. Like it just that's a given. And I love the energy. I love the fact that
Yeah.
even now she still holds her own lane. Like
Yeah.
period. It just
Yeah.
she's a never ending legend, baby. And Lay
Yeah.
Satan, legends never die, but she's a living legend that shows you that legends never die, baby. Like she's
Yeah.
there, she's in it to win, and she's every bit of an inspiration when it comes to a female MC in this industry, you know, and I
Yeah.
can only hope that I can fulfill half the shoes that she's been able to.
And shout out to Missy Misdemeanor, man. You know what I'm
Yes, yes,
saying?
yes, yes, yes.
Definitely an icon, you know what I'm saying? A trailblazer for female MCs in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's a fact. What's your creative process like when you get in the studio? You know, because like, you know, some people need the weed, they need the henny, they need the
Mm,
girls, they need the
mm,
candles. Like, you know, everybody got
mm.
their own rituals. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So what's your creative process like?
I am a freestyle artist, first and foremost. I
Talk your
love
shit.
the creativity of being able to throw on a beat and just let my mind get to working, period.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like sometimes when you try to lock your thoughts down into a pen and paper, you limit the creativity and the flow of things. And that's no shade to my writers because I have a lot of friends and family who sit on that writer side, and I have much love and respect for the discipline that they have, you know, because it does take a lot of discipline to be able to sit down and pen and paper it. You know, nevertheless, with myself, it's so much easier for me to let the beat go on and just feel it, you know, and I'll drop it 16 and then I'll play that back, baby. And I might eat like 2, 3 of them bars. I'm like, I like that. Throw everything else away. Let's go back in again, you know,
Okay.
and we
Okay.
build from there. You know, I definitely like the feedback with the engineer, producer, whoever I'm in the studio with.
Yeah.
Talk to me, I talk back, baby. What you hear,
Yeah.
you like it, you feeling it, what's up? You know what I'm saying? We say you can get hotter, like turn the oil on, baby. Let's go. You know, I just and we in. If we in the kitchen, baby, you know, it can only get better from here. You know,
That's a
we got all
fact.
the seasoning. You
Yeah.
know, so
All we gotta do is make it taste right. We got
hey,
everything.
come
You know what I'm
on,
talking
come
about?
on, come
Yeah.
on.
Talk
Yes,
your
sir.
shit. Yeah, that's it.
I'm just saying, baby.
Yeah, that's a fact. Oh, and that's a dope process. You know what I mean? Because like it's always fresh.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It never get complacent. That's dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
Plus, I keep that memory muscle really working.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I work like that too. I got no pen, no pad flow. I'll stack, you know, memory, and you know, then when
That's
you go
right.
in a booth, it just flows out better because there's no read. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
That's right,
MC
baby.
shit, artist to artist shit. You know how it
Hey,
go. You know what I'm saying?
shake 'em.
All right, you know what I'm saying? Talking shit. But
A little bit.
when you making your music and you know your sound, what artists do you hear yourself most likely collabing with?
Present, past. What's up? What you
You know
talking?
what? I'm feeling spicy today. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, you know, present and past. I want to see what type
Okay.
of time you on. Present or past? You know what I'm saying? What artists do you see yourself collabing with?
Well, present and
Or
past, I'm
could?
gonna say Missy. Off top,
Okay.
like that's
I should have knew that.
yeah,
You know
off
what I'm
top.
saying?
That's at the top of the list. Like, you know, we can go, baby. That's it. Put me in the booth with Missy. It's a wrap, baby. It's a wrap. Coming out with steam.
Okay,
Period.
okay,
Period.
okay.
Outside of Missy, I would love to go in with her.
mm,
She's so in sync with what music really means
yeah,
and
she
the
dope.
therapy of music that I just think it is magic on top of magic that would take place
Yeah,
within that session. Honest to God, I love live instruments. I love the
yeah,
feeling that building a live set, you know, brings to the track. Building with a live set, shall I say, excuse me, brings to the track. And
yeah,
that is an artist on full loud display who shows constantly, time and time again, the meaning and the feeling that live instruments bring to a track.
yeah,
You know, I've had
yeah.
the pleasure of seeing her perform live a few times, and she's amazing. Well worth any ticket
It's a
ever.
show. It's a show.
It's a show and a half.
Yeah,
You definitely
yeah,
gonna leave blessed.
yeah.
You definitely gonna leave with your heart filled, you know,
Mm,
energy up on high. I love her energy as an artist. I love her message. I love what she stands on. She's been in this game now for a few, and
that's a
there's no
fact.
wavering. Her image in this industry is
Yeah,
unwavering. Period.
yeah.
And she carries herself as a real woman out here in this thing, and I love it. I love it because classy is sexy all day too. So
Man,
you
that's
know,
a
I get
fact.
with it. I get
That's
with it,
a
baby.
fact. That's dope. You know what I mean? I can definitely see the parallels between you both. You know what I mean? Because like
Gotcha.
when she first came out, she didn't even allow people to see her. Remember, for a long
At
time, she
all.
was her. She was in the shadow. So that lets you know that image is not her concern. She wants you to hear the music. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
She wants you to see who she is and not to, let her sex sell, even though she's a beautiful woman.
Period.
You know what I'm
Very
saying?
much
It's not
so.
even about that. You know what I'm saying? So, and you like that as well. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I appreciate
I'm just saying, but you want your music to speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
I get it, man. That's dope. And we need that variety in the culture. You know what I'm saying? Talk your shit. I like that.
I appreciate it.
Um,
It's
if
a
you
few
could,
more of them though.
yeah, but
It's a few
to
more of
be
them.
honest, like I can see you getting down with Janae Aiko. You know what I'm
She
saying?
was next on the list. I've seen her perform
Yeah,
live a few times too. Baby got it. It's
yeah,
a vibe. When I
yeah,
say her, I've been on this like floor tree wave. I feel like that's something that should not be lost. That genre of music shouldn't be lost at all because it's a free form of therapy, if you ask me,
yeah,
honestly. So when
yeah,
you talking about her, I see us building some type of floor tree track, and
yeah,
I would love to vibe with her. Janae,
yeah,
same thing, but she would bring me more into that insightful, just turned up, tapping in with who you are as a woman type of track. We
yeah,
definitely would
yeah.
have to make a more, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
what you
yeah,
tracks.
yeah, yeah.
We would have to peel some heads open with that.
Yeah, yeah, a page turner. You know what I'm talking
There we
about?
go. There
Yeah,
we
yeah.
go,
I'm
baby.
with you.
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah,
I understand.
yeah. Janae, that's the night show, baby.
Yeah, yeah. Demon time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Hey, baby.
fact.
Hey,
What we gonna do right now? We gonna take a pause for the cause for our sponsors. Shout out the networking queen. Shout out
hey,
DJ Domino, the official
that's right.
DJ for Address the Culture and a big gas tour moving to a city near you. And we'll
Hey,
be
baby.
right back to Address the Culture with Lady Kharizma. You feel
That's
me?
right. Hey, come on.
I got that fire, Gucci, Fendi, Yaya. Counting up this motherfucking money and designer. If we stand around, it's guaranteed that you can find it. Everybody rolling, holding up their lighters. I got that fire, Gucci, Fendi, Yaya. Counting up this motherfucking money and designer. If we stand around, it's guaranteed that you can find it. Everybody rolling, holding up their lighters. Pour the drink in my double cup.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Big Wall, and we here to address the culture. And you know what type of time we on, man. We got Lady Kharizma in the building. You know what I'm
Stop it,
saying?
baby. Let's stop
So
it. Let's stop it.
look. We already know. We finna take it to another level. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
go.
I want to dig into your psyche a little bit. You know
I'm
what
all
I'm
about
saying?
the
Can we go there?
elevation.
All right,
Let's
let's do
elevate,
some.
baby.
Let's elevate. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
If you could share the stage with any artist,
Okay.
dead or alive, you know what I'm talking about, and you know the vibes I'm talking about. I'm talking about arena shit. 80, 90,000. You know what I'm saying? You tell an engineer to bring the lights down, and you tell everybody to take out their cell phones and wave it, light up the building, chill bump shit, superstar shit. You know what I'm talking about? You know the vibes. If you could share the stage with any artist, dead or alive, Lady Kharizma, which artist that's gonna be?
Chris Brown.
Woo!
Chris Brown. I seen Baby perform back in 2019 in Oakland, and it was a wrap. It was a wrap. I need that energy, baby. I need not a dead soul in the building. I need that energy. We on. Period. Say less. To the top. Chris, you hear me, baby?
Breezy,
I'm ready for the end. Oh man, we to the top. We to the top. Period. That man gonna get you hype,
that's a
right,
fact. That's a
and
fact.
tight all at the same time. Period.
All right, I can dig it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Shout out to Chris Breezy, man. You know what I'm saying? And look,
baby hitting.
look, we all about vibes and energy, so we're gonna put that out in the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And when you and Chris, y'all perform, y'all gonna come back on the Dress the Culture, and we're gonna talk about it. You know what I'm talking about? That's
Keep us posted, baby. Keep us posted to be continued for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Now we both know in this game, the internet is a major part of what we do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like it's a double-edged sword. It's a gift and a curse. It's smoke and mirror. It's great. It's bad. And yada yada yada. We all know this. You know what I'm saying? But from your viewpoint, how do you feel the internet has impacted the music industry?
It's made your audience at the palm of your hands. Like it eliminated all excuses for, oh, I don't have the money, you know, I don't have the connections, I'm not seasoned enough. Like it's literally limit. I mean, it might be, you know, a couple of flaws, but what does it? Everything has its pros and cons to it. Okay.
That's a fact. Yeah.
But I love the fact that it's giving you, like I said, that first hand experience is right there. Like you face to face with your fan base right there.
Yeah.
You know, you can stay live with them. You don't have to wait. You don't have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know what I'm saying, for your music to be heard or streamed. You know, you're not in the studio. I mean, excuse me, at the radio stations trying to guinea pig your way through to get a couple of tracks fine. You know, it's right there. You know, and I won't say that it's easy because, like anything else, it's definitely a hustle. It's definitely a hustle, but nevertheless, it's one I enjoy personally.
Yeah,
you know,
it's all about the hustle, ain't it? You know what
connection
I'm saying?
to connection. I'm big on connection. This connection right here, baby. You know,
you see, we definitely got one. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just saying. I'm gonna put it on out there. You know what I'm talking
about? You know, but I love it. I love being able to make connections with people all around the world, and we all share the same passion in mind when it comes to music. You know, let me emphasize high key. You know, heavy on the cap with you know,
extra cap, little extra cap.
I'm just saying, when it comes to music, it's been my therapy, baby. It really has. It's got me through the good times as well as the low times. You know, when there was not anybody that could understand or give me a word of clarification or something that would make my heart feel better or at ease. There's always a track out there you can turn on and just get lost into. And it might not necessarily completely answer all questions. Nevertheless, it's 0.99, baby. You don't have to hear somebody rambling with their educated, judgmental opinions of you. You know, for being a human and going through what humans go through in life, baby. You know, you can just turn on the music and vibe. You know, and I love it for it because, like I said, there's always a message. Growing up, never understood heavy metal. I did it. I'd be like, oh my God, it's just, that's a lot going on one track. You know, rah, 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 rah. And then I had a one day. He said, what you mean? I said, because, you know, he pulled up playing that. And I said, what is going on? You going through something? And he said, have you ever just heard it out? I said, I can't. It's a lot of screaming. It's hard to hear. You know, and he put on, I guess, a lighter version of heavy metal. And when I really sat there without the judgmental thoughts and I heard the track through, the young man on the track was talking about, granted, some dark shit, but it was some real shit. You know, he was talking about some circumstances in his life that only one could imagine, like by the grace of God, he lived through. He made it through. He made it through. And by all means, if by him being able to stay alive and still have a healthy mental state of mind meant he had to go in the studio one day and scream that shit out. Get it off your chest, baby. Get it off your chest.
And there's so many people that can relate to that as well. Man. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Yeah.
So I've always looked. It's the freest form of therapy in this world. You know, money can't buy it. Money can't. I mean, it take a little money to create the tracks, stuff like that. Understood.
Absolutely.
You know, but that to the
money to make it.
It's there, baby. It's there for you.
Yeah, that's dope. Coming through, dropping jewels and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Talk your shit. If you could go and think back, what was some of the best advice you've ever been given?
My pops told me don't put shit past nobody in life. And boy, do I stand on that. I stand on that. You know, my grandfather who told me God would be my thickest friend and my realest friend. And I stand on that as well. You know, and just the rapport of all my real ones through the time I've been alive who have shown me 10 toes down at all times, you know, and with those top 3 laws, I run with them, you know.
Check,
I'm heavy on the to
check.
each his own though, baby. I'm heavy on to each his own. I learned to let life be and let people live. You know, I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. So with that being said, your decisions don't necessarily really affect me too much. You know, not for me to judge you or shun you away or look at you in a different type of way. I let people be there, you know.
Yeah, I respect that, man. I like that. All right. I see what type of time you on. You know what I'm saying? If you could change something about the game, what would you change?
This facade that everybody, like I said, has to be, you know, 20-inch weave, titty popping out, big chains, you know what I'm saying? Like, bunch of bad bitches stopping around the video several hundred times and you can hardly get a bar out, you know, like the facade of having to have that turn up to deliver your message. I mean, it's fun and all. It is. But it's overly saturated. It's overly saturated in the industry. It is. It almost gives a false sense of what our culture really stood on, you know? I mean, I don't want to give out too much, but the album is in the mix right now. Now that we've been able to pretty much wrap up the mixtape, and my album is titled "The Emancipation of Hip Hop." Okay, and there's a reason why the messages that we're working on. I want to bring awareness to the fact that hip hop, in my opinion, baby. And I'm gonna stir up some water when I say this, but it has lost its way, baby. It has lost its way, you know. And I definitely, if you have to categorize me with some of these artists that are out here representing the culture of hip hop, I would have to emancipate myself from it altogether. Don't put me in that lane. I will not do no parts of that, you know, because that's not hip hop. The roots of hip hop was to make an awareness of what was going on in the streets, in your community, you know, in what was the highlights and the pressing topics of what was taking place within our culture, you know, and no matter where you came from, the Bronx, LA, Chi, you know what I'm saying, Philly, they brought an awareness of what was coming out of the hood that they was trying to, you know, hide.
That's a fact. Talk your shit.
And it's not too much of that no more. And you see, we came up out of 2020 with such a heavy year of pressing topics, baby. Like a heavy year. So if it's that heavy, where is this in the music? You know, and it gets drowned out with the fact that you have to, you know, keep up with a certain image in order to get those streams. You know, and I just feel like that's not what our culture stood on. It, you know, I'm all for the turn up. I'm all for the EDM, the pop and everything. But I feel like when you call yourself a hip hop artist, like I said earlier, you got to stand on the message in which you're delivering. And if your message as a hip hop artist is to be big in the club every other night, baby, what kind of influence is that on our generation? You know, you're inevitably setting up a generation of failure. You know, a lack of responsibility, maybe a lack of sense of what reality really, you know, entails. You know, you're not showing these cats that outside of the video, when you say cut, that your ass got into the car, you went home showering up real quick and you went straight over to the next interview. You went straight to the studio. You put it in. You left in their mind that life on a Wednesday was the turn up. And it's not. It's not. It's the grind, really, behind the scenes.
That's
the grind. It's the struggle, you know, it's the fact that you keep pushing past the hatred, that you keep pushing past the people that despise, you know, that the fact that you're trying to level up, the fact that you're trying to make an impact in life, You pushing past the fact of everything that was set in your way as far as a limitation and a
Yeah.
statue excuse me, society statue of where we supposed to go in life,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
pushing past that on a day-to-day basis. But when you hear the cameras go, you forget all of the message in which the hard work in which you're getting behind. You get what I'm
That's
saying?
a fact.
To kind of curtsy to the side, rest in peace, Nip. I love what that man stood on. And there's a lot of people who are, it's controversial. You
Yeah.
have someone, he's heavily gang related. Look at the message though. It's to
Yeah.
each his own, right? A
Yeah.
pastor, when they stand in front of a church, they speaking to the audience or their members, their fellowship, shall I say, they're talking from a broad point of view. When they open that
Hmm.
book and they read from that book, they're talking from a broad point of view. That
Yeah.
pastor's not necessarily delivering the message to you personally, but if he says something that hits
That
home,
resonates with you. Yeah.
you feel me? You can
Yeah.
get with it, you
Yeah.
know? And so I feel like that's all the way through.
That's a
You get
fact.
what I'm saying? That's all the way
That's a
through.
fact.
And I just, oh man, I plead so much for hip hop right now to get back to the roots of just making an awareness of what's going on in the world, because we are powerful. Our voices are powerful. They're heavy, they're inspirational. They're influencing the generation that's coming up as well as the generation we sitting in.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and if you
Yeah.
put out positive energy and vibes, that's what you'll have in the world. If you put
Yeah.
out negative energies and vibes, that's what you're going to have in the world.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Man, hey, everything you said is real talk. It's actual factuals. And I'll take it a step further, like you said. When the camera yell cut, you go to the studio. How about when the camera yell cut, you go to work? When the camera
Right.
go cut, you go home with your family. Like, it's different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you got to show all them sides. You know what I'm saying? To
Right.
let it know that this is what I'm trying to do, but it don't necessarily dictate who I am. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's dope. I like that. I like that. I like when people think
Right.
outside of the box. It's bigger than what you see. You know what I'm saying? That's dope.
Draw the whole picture, baby. Draw the whole picture. Give them the
Yeah.
whole formula. Don't leave them with half the formula. And then you have our young kings and queens out here stuck,
That's
trying to
a
run a
fact.
marathon with half the formula. And like, get back to what I was saying earlier, Nip, he gave the full formula. A lot of people didn't
Yeah.
respect it, but he gave the full formula. He had his lane. He had his followers, his followers, shall I say, that he could impact, and
Yeah.
just like a preacher hits the fellowship, he hit the streets. Somebody else be able, when you sitting in the White House or the House of Reps, they listening to the president. All of us might
Yeah.
not listen to the president, but he got a
Yeah.
lane.
Yeah.
There is an
Yeah.
audience for him,
Yeah.
and I feel like you definitely have to, for one, find your lane, find who you relate with, and then hold yourself accountable. Give them the
Yeah.
full formula. Don't just tell them about, the cherries,
Yeah.
the goods and the
Yeah.
berries. Tell them
Yeah.
about how life got bitter. Tell them about
Yeah.
how you had to go back to the drawing board a few times, maybe. How you
Yeah.
overcalculated. Don't
Yeah.
just give them half the formula.
Yeah.
And I'm big on it. I'm big on it. I'm heavy
Yeah.
on it, no matter what lane it is. Like I said, being real, being authentic, 100%, drawing awareness to whatever the situation is. Just what it is. If you a D-boy in
Yeah.
the streets, talk to them young D-boys in the streets then, but give them
Yeah.
the whole thing. Don't
Give
tell
them
them
the
about
whole
just
picture.
the
Yeah.
stacks and the bundles and the bands you got tucked under
Yeah.
the bed, baby. Tell them about, the eeriness of not being able to sleep, the constant looking over your back too, baby. Tell them about the fact that you constantly fight with the anxiety of not being able to trust any other individual in life. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
Or the demons that you fight, because you know what come around, go around, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know that
That's
we
a
all got to meet
fact.
our maker one day. And what you
Yeah.
put in this life, you're going to also reap too.
It's
So
definitely
you
coming
talk
back.
about the whole thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm big on it.
Yeah. And I'm big on it too. I'm with you, man. That's a fact. And if we have more of that in the culture, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, you wouldn't have to be emancipated from it. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. I like that. If you could go back and give younger you some advice, what would you tell yourself?
Ooh wee. Oh, we'd have a real long conversation for one. But I would tell myself to keep my eyes open. Keep your eyes open. I learned a lot just because when I first got exposed to the world, I was gullible in so many ways. I came from
Yeah.
a church atmosphere and I just got pushed straight into the world, and it
Yeah.
was almost a 180,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and that would be the heaviest message to the younger version of me is to keep my eyes open, guard my heart a little bit more,
Yeah.
guard my soul a little bit more, guard my energy a hell of a lot more.
Yeah. That's very
Yeah.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope. What would you like to say to all of your supporters? All the people that's been in your corners, your A1s, your day ones, even before the music. You can take it back to the church. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some of the church folks still support. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you could say anything to your supporters, what message would you like to say to them?
Thank you. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the constant encouragement, the unconditional energy that has come through the years, and always letting me know that I am who I portray to be, and
Yeah.
always holding me accountable to those standards and never wavering with it. Like I said, it takes one thing to have self accountability, but when your circle around you hold you accountable to those standards too, it's almost like the perfect match. Like you are
Yeah.
unbreakable at that point,
Yeah.
and so I appreciate just the time, no one owes you anything in life. They don't have to
That's
do a
a
single thing
fact.
for you, period.
That's a
Family,
fact.
friends, spouse, it don't matter. No
That's
one
a
owes you
fact.
anything in life. So for the fact for somebody to even take even 30 seconds out of their day and hear a piece of my track, it's love all day,
Yes,
because you didn't
absolutely.
even have to stop for that
At
long
all. They
and
don't
give me
owe
your
you
time.
nothing.
We
Absolutely.
only get 24 hours in a day, and I still feel like that's never enough.
Talk
So
about
if
it.
you give me 30 seconds out of your time, I appreciate it. I
That's
really
a
do,
fact. Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
that was just thanks on high value. Love is on
Yeah.
high value. And I only, hope that God allows me to continue in the journey and keeps providing breath in my body to where I can reach my peak point and be able to show some love and blessings back to the people who have kept me on my toes and kept me encouraged.
That's
I want
dope.
none the less than to be able to show some love.
That's dope. That's dope. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, we're going to do this for them. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay.
say it's doing it for the culture. We're going to do something I like to call rapid fire. I'm going to ask
Hey.
you some quick questions to give
Okay.
your fans, your supporters, your A1s, your day ones, a little bit
Okay.
more insight on who you are as a person. You down?
Talk to me, baby.
All right, let's get it. The first thing I do or think when I wake up in the morning is?
I thank God for the breath inside of my body.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Hot or cold?
Hot all day.
Favorite restaurant?
Is there one? I like good food, baby. I like good food.
You like good food, huh?
I like good food. Hey, Waters Catering though. Miss Waters has it's a restaurant out in San Diego, California.
Okay.
And it has some delicious good
Okay.
eats.
All right. All right. All right. Chicken, steak, or fish?
Listen, I'm a fish girl, but I'll do some juicy chicken every once in a while.
Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it.
Yes, I love me some seafood though, baby.
Yeah. Favorite pair of shoes of all times?
Classic. I'm an Air Force girl, but I go back and forth with the Blazers. Like, yeah,
No.
I had a really bad problem when it came with Air Force and Blazers. Maybe it was a situation. I needed them all. Like the Pokemon, I was trying to catch them all.
You trying to catch them all. I was
trying
with
to catch
you.
them all.
I can dig it. Every color. We need them all. You know what I'm talking about? That's a fact. That's a fact. If you were stuck on a desert island, it could only take 3 albums with you. Which albums you take?
Oh, X Factor.
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. It get real spicy. You know what I'm talking about?
For sure, J. Cole. I don't know which one because I love them all.
Okay.
But you'll have to, when the time comes, let me choose from there to meet the rubber with the
All
road.
right, all right,
But for
all right.
sure, from
We'll just
Jay.
do a mix disc. We'll do a mix disc for
Yes,
J.
because
Cole.
he
You know
gonna
what
keep
I'm
me
talking
busy while I'm trying to gather my fruits and berries. I'm
about?
just saying, gonna keep me pumped, you know. And I would
Oh
definitely have to
shit.
tie it in with Nip, the marathon. That I mean, and I'm a huge
Mm.
fan of his earlier work, but that last album, it was just like,
Victory Lap. Victory Lap. Classic
yeah,
album. It's a classic. That's a
yeah,
fact. You can let Victory Lap play from the front to the back. That's a
yeah,
fact. That's a fact. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
that,
with you. I see what type of time you
yeah,
on. I see what type of
yeah.
time you on. That's a fact.
Need some Jay, some Lauren, and some Nip, and I
And
think
some
I'd be on the
nip.
island okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's a
Mary
good
J,
vibe.
if I could have four of them, slide Mary J
We
in on a
slide Mary
Sunday,
J on
baby.
there. We
Yeah,
good.
on
We
a Sunday,
good.
she had my mind right.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite drink.
Mm. I don't know if you're familiar with a Tokyo tea, but it's an
Mm.
interesting night, baby.
Okay. All right.
It's an interesting night.
All right. Okay. I might have to check me
Hmm.
out a Tokyo tea. You know what I'm talking about?
At your own disclosure.
All right. All right. Okay. Favorite sports team.
Lakers, if we talking basketball. Chargers, if we talking football. I get it
Uh,
honest.
All right, LBJ all day. I'm with you. You know what I'm
Just
talking
saying, I
about?
get
Yeah,
it
yeah.
honest.
I'm with you. Weekends or weekdays?
I'm a weekend.
Okay. All right. I can dig it.
Hmm.
How many times a day do you think about sex?
Zero. If it happened, it happened.
What you say? What you say? I'm focused. I'm
If
focused
it
right
happens,
now. You
it
know what I'm
happens,
talking
baby. It's definitely not a priority, though.
about? I'm with
You
you.
know,
I'm
hey,
with you.
you know, I'm a woman, so I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say the urges don't be there, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But when it happens, it happens. Outside of that, baby, I'm to the grind right now.
I
Honestly,
feel you. I feel
business
you.
before pleasure.
Hey, we on the clock, baby. We got things
Hey,
to do. You know what I'm talking
hey,
about?
absolutely.
I'm with you. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, to heal people's heart.
Mmm. Mmm.
To heal people's heart. I think this world would be a much better place if you could just sometimes take back the things that people couldn't change. You know, it was
Mmm.
unforeseeable. It was out of their hands, and whatever reason, life played a horrible number, and it tainted their heart in a way where it changed their character. So I think if I personally would be blessed with anything that can inspire or help somebody, I would want the ability to change somebody's heart, to rewarm their heart.
Wow. Well, I like to stop and pause and make an acknowledgement because you are the first person to ever give me that answer with these questions. So you have made history. Your name is in the Raptors. You know
All
what I'm
right,
saying? That is
all
the
right,
first time I heard that answer. Shout out to Lady
baby.
Kharizma as it should
Appreciate you,
be.
baby.
Dope.
Hey,
That's dope. That's dope. Just further let me know what type of time you're on. Salute, and I respect that.
hey, I
Um,
appreciate it, baby.
no doubt. I'm gonna start the sentence and I want you to finish it for me, okay?
Let's go,
My name is Lady Charisma, and I am a
Queen.
mm, that's it. That's it. That's it. All hails the queen. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, talk your shit. Now, I can't let you get up out of here without blessing the culture with some of them
Okay,
bars that we've been talking about all this time. You know what I'm
okay,
talking about? Let's get
all
it
right,
in, man.
baby.
Talk your shit.
All right. Drop a little something for y'all. Go classification agenda. In a world where we ain't ready for this conversation. The more that I lost, the more that I found. I'm working every day, digressing complication. Told me hop up on my fields, hop up in the bag. Mine to the grind. Ain't life about progression? No more letting it ride, nor letting it slide. Life been a slippery slope. Your life can get hectic. My pride to the crown. I'm a Nubian queen. I'm sweet on the scene like that caramel dream. Polished instrumental, channel to the screen. I'm past the BS phase, boss status dream. If we spending time, I'm talking paper. All tables clear, but leave a tip for them haters. High end weekends, my appetite stay fat. Peach busting out the seams, hashtag stay facts. Highly anticipated. Yet these vibes ain't never duplicated. Told me the ball for the ball. Yeah, is you raising the ball?
Ooh, talk your shit. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Lady Kharizma coming through, dropping bars on Address the Culture. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Now, what song or what video you want me to play at the end of this video, at the end of this interview, to further let them know what type of time you on, man? Talk your shit.
Run up, burn it up, baby. Burn it up. Burn it up.
Burn it up.
Burn it up, baby. Yeah. I'm on it all day, every day, baby. You know, time is of the essence. And I definitely feel like, you know, it's pedal to the grind every day. Yeah. Every day of my life is pedal to the grind. And I stand on that. That's one of my favorite tracks. And I definitely, just the energy that I try to bring anytime I'm in the building. Let's burn it up, baby. Come on.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to leave them with. Now tell me what's next for you. What's going on next? What Lady Kharizma got going on next? Talk to us, man.
Well, as far as today, I'm about an hour out of my studio session.
Okay.
As far as coming into the summer, I'm headed over to Brooklyn in 2 weeks. I have a fashion show that I'm going to be performing at / modeling in, which is heavy as dope. I appreciate the invite coming from the East. Definitely love out there. Outside of that, I'll be going into my mixtape release, throwing a little party situation for there within my hometown, and also going back towards the East and doing another party out there just to get the mixtape going and jumping. I have several different shows lined up throughout the summer just to try to bounce around and start making some friction in there, you know? So it's paving to the grind this year, baby. Yeah. I can't say because I didn't heard an overly saturated amount of pity party stories with this Rona, and my heart goes out to anybody personally that has lost a relative behind it. Yeah. Nevertheless, life is life, and it's Rona today, be Ebola tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, whatever the case might be. In other words, there's always going to be some type of stumbling block that comes up in life, and you have to have perseverance. You have to keep going through it. And so I definitely used last year's downtime as an advantage to really go heavily into getting my material on point. So this year I look forward into bringing it to the light, and definitely have some visuals. I'm working on my upcoming visual that's soon to drop, and that's Checklist. And that's got some heat. I got a featured artist, Hollywood Falls, coming out of San Diego, California, and he laid some heat on the track, blessed the track nonetheless. And I'm looking forward to it. That'll be dropping within the next 3-4 weeks. We tying in the deadline right there. Definitely just trying to, like I said, make some friction in the waves this year, baby.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Well, consider this your home away from home. Anytime you got anything dropping, anything coming out, we gonna lock in. We talk about it. We gonna make it a movie, man. Because I definitely dig your energy, your vibe, man. I definitely want to thank you for coming through, man. It was definitely a treat having a conversation with you.
I appreciate you, baby. The energy, everything is reciprocated the same. I appreciate the love. You know, anytime you having the availability to go ahead and share some form of some good energy into the world, you should. So thank you for giving me that lane today to be able to go ahead and try to hopefully shed some light into somebody's day, bring a little smile to their face.
Absolutely. Well, you definitely brought one of mine. So the energy is definitely reciprocated, man. Again, I want to thank you for coming through. And we definitely going to have to do this again. You know what I mean?
Hey. Don't be
this is your boy, Big Ball. You know, I ain't finna be no stranger. Not at all. You know what I'm talking about? Not at all. This is your boy, Big Wall, and this is Address the Culture. And like I always say, your culture makes you who you are, so make sure they respect it. We're going to catch you on the next interview. We out of here.
Right.
Your body, my body, your body.
foes. I'ma burn it up. Highest milli at your show. I'ma run it up. Till the realists get exposed. Stack some blues on the low. I'ma run it up. Pay attention to no foes. I'ma burn it up. Highest milli at your show. I'ma run it up. Till my niggas get exposed. Gave me a clear vision, like I see the season. I've been stacking up these dollars for every reason. They understand I'm getting it, I'm well seasoned. And I've been putting my 2 cents in for every reason. My festivities, my time and my break. And they've been understanding every day I'm giving it an earthquake. I'm shaking out the place. They know that I've been raised up in this thing and I'ma make it one away. Embrace the gas, replace the brakes, I'm telling them that I'ma make it every day, Poppin' like them niggas know I'm hella bent. And I've been stepping red carpet like I'm president. They say Bugatti for a shawty who been working out that body. And I ain't taking L's, not from anybody. It's entertainment in the city keep it litty, Las Vegas, I'ma win no biddy. I'ma run it up, stack some blues on the low. I'ma run it up, pay attention to no foes. I'ma burn it up, highest milli at your show. I'ma run it up, till the realists get exposed. Stack some blues on the low. Pay attention to no foes. Highest milli at your show. Till my niggas get exposed. Gave me the highest risk. I'm at the 3-point line. They're everybody screaming, yeah, straight for mine. And I'ma grind every time like I walk over 9. And I'ma do it till the sunrise. I like the full sunset. And she be cutting heads every time your girl dress. And I be cutting up them pockets just to make them well invested. I'm checking banks up off the checklist. I'm talking ripples with foundation. Over Bill Gates, then your girl breaking in. They finally catch you win. They got me dank in the air. 805, nothing but a full tank over here. Some blues on the low. $500,000 on my show. Let the city know. Come on, city know. Come on, city know. Come on, I'ma run it up. Stack some blues on the low. I'ma run it up. Pay attention to no foes. Come on, I'ma burn it up. Highest milli at your show. I'ma run it up. Till the realists get exposed. Come on. Stack some blues on the low. I'ma run it up. Pay attention to no foes. I'ma burn it up. Highest milli at your show. I'ma run it up. Till my niggas get exposed.
We about to dress the coach. Yeah, we about to dress the coach.